So by the end of the next 2 hours, you're gonna be better at writing YouTube scripts than 97% of people. We're gonna cover some basics as well as many advanced script writing concepts that I used to write scripts for my clients and that my coaching students have used to charge $200 to $400 per script. But here's the catch. There are gonna be no fancy edits, no dopamine hits, no whiteboard, none of that. It's just gonna be me and one of my coaching students, David, who's currently writing for multiple 6 and 7 figure educational creators. We're gonna review three of his client scripts. We're gonna dissect them line by line. We're gonna discuss the thought process behind them and cover some topics like how to use storytelling, how to make your script more persuasive, how to see your script through the audience lens, and other advanced topics that the top script writers use. So, without further yapping, let's get into it. That's dope. How much is she paying for it?
She paid me 200.
So, we're like pitching them on personal branding, right?
Yeah. Personal branding, content creation.
Mhm. That's good. We can run this. Like we have the so that's the split you want to go for with YouTube VSLs. You want to give around 70% value and then sell in the last 30%. That's the formula for it.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah,
You could-
solid. I also threw some CTAs throughout the video. I was kind of
Mhm.
sprinkled.
I think you can add some not statements here because that's what the audience will be thinking at this point. Like, do I have to manage a large team or do I need to learn a shit ton of skills? So if you just add one not statement, they're like, and no, this doesn't require you to spend thousands of dollars upfront. You don't need to learn fancy skills. Some of the statement like that.
Oh, I can use that for the like the bullets. I'm assuming.
Yeah, do you want me to add comments on this or is it
Yeah,
like
yeah. Can you add comments as well? Yeah, that would be really nice. Yeah, just to so I can look at that and comment and change that up later. Yeah, you're right. I should just cover those objections. I forgot to do that. Fuck.
apart from that, it's solid. We're giving them all the benefits. We have this social proof that all these guys got rich from this. That's solid. Question hook.
Yeah, so the objections covering is the key as well. Like I should do that in the intro, so I
Yeah.
can get them out of the way early.
So the thing with it is like, especially the hook is like after every sentence, you want to ask yourself like, what would be the thing going through the viewer's mind after this one sentence? Like if they read this, after they read this stuff, that this is this thing that I use to make this much to retire my mom and travel all this, then their brain immediately starts thinking like, oh, is she gonna talk about SMMA? Is she gonna talk about investing in crypto? Is she gonna like talk about all these things that need a shit ton of upfront investment or years of experience? So you just want to handle those.
Yeah. So after, I guess that also applies for the entire script. You want to talk about at every sentence. You want to talk about what's going on. Like, what do
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
Yeah, I gotta
yeah.
ask yourself what is going on in their mind. That's gold.
That like you want to have that mindset throughout the script, but especially during the hook.
So you want to get in the reader's mind, the customer bubble. Blah.
Is this like what's the age, the target age for this audience for this script? What's the demographic?
So this is 9 to 5ers. Usually, I mean, pretty much 18-year-olds are working 9 to 5ers to like, I would say
So is it
40-year-old.
uh,
It
is
could
it mostly an audience of like if you see like Iman's audience, it's mostly like teenagers who want to make money online. Is it that kind of
no,
audience? Or
no,
is it like people who have a
it's
job
it's
and
like,
want
it's
to
like older people, like
all right.
like mid to late 20s, 30s, 40s.
Okay.
Like they're
Yeah,
already
okay.
kind of they're stuck in like the rat race.
Yeah, then this is top. Then you can use this because you couldn't use this if it was like for a teenage audience.
No, no, no. This is for like pretty older people because
Mhm.
I'm currently seeing because I saw her basically I got some info from her and she said mainly
Mhm.
main audience is that, so I was like, okay, I should put something like that in the intro, and then that would be nice.
Yeah, all right, then we can keep this. So if it was for like a younger audience, it would be something like throwing rocks at the other business models like SMM and drop shipping before transitioning into this personal branding.
Oh, okay. So if it was for younger audience, I wouldn't start off with the traditional wealth building.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Disqualify other pretty much other business models.
Because if it's a younger audience, they are already sold on this concept of making money online. So you don't have to do that for them.
Right, right. They're already sold, but if they're like more older, they're more like those kind of people. You kind of have to sell them.
So before you give this reveal, it would be better like if you add examples in before the reveal that this is the exact thing, and like these creators are using this exact thing to build their empires and all of that, because
Oh, should I? Uh-huh.
this is going to be a big payoff. So if we give them the proof beforehand and let them come to the conclusion themselves, it's much more effective than giving the reveal and then justifying.
So I should give examples of real people and then give the creator economy payoff.
So something like, okay, once we say this, like because there's a little known smarter path that solves all these problems and you can reach. And yeah, so then you can have one more statement here, like,
Scroll down. You can actually see it. I wrote some examples. You can edit.
hmm,
Yeah.
yeah, I think instead of this, because these people, I don't think they're like that well known, right? For
No,
this audience.
they're small on purpose because
Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, we're pitching them on micro niche personal brand. So instead, what you can do here is like first give the examples of these big guys. Like this is the exact same model that this all of these guys like Iman Ghazi and whoever we can take like Danko they are using. But you don't need a large following like them. And then you add these examples like of the small creators.
Oh, that's a
So
good one. First.
after this
Uh-huh.
one, before you give the reveal of the creator economy, we'll have a statement like
Mhm.
something like all these guys are using this model. So you want the editor's note here, like to add the images of these guys like Iman, Jordan Welch, all this stuff.
Right.
Then you'll have a statement like something like that. You don't need thousands of followers, or like you don't need to post content every day. Like you don't need a large team to back you up, something like that. And then you give examples of this small creators.
Okay, okay. So the reason you do that is to kind of sell them already on the idea of the creator economy.
So when you are giving this payoff, if we already sell them on this, like if we already give them examples, show them this thing, so their brain automatically thinks like, okay, this thing works. Whatever the thing is he's talking about, it works. So whenever you drop this, it's like much more. They are much more likely to accept the idea.
Mm. And my question is that too much? Like, I just want to drop like a line and then an example and then reveal it. I don't want to yap too much, is my point. I don't want to talk about it too much. Does that make sense? Because I want to give the payoff
Yeah.
as
So
well without dragging on.
this will take like I think it won't take like more than 15 seconds. Like because we're not even going through the name, we can just add an edit. Like all these guys are using the same thing, and it's not just them, it's even this. So that will take like 10 seconds, and then we reveal this, the payoff of creator economy, building a niche
Okay,
brand.
okay. So as long as it's like I'm not yapping too long, and I can just
Yeah.
sort. It's perfect. Okay.
Or like what you can do is like instead of revealing all three right here, you can just maybe use two of them here, and then maybe you can use the third one somewhere later down the script.
I think I just put three because I wanted to drive the point home.
The reason we're separating this is because we added this one extra line where we're telling them about this big guys. So that would become three in itself. The one about the big guys and this two. So that would be three.
Ah,
Then
gotcha,
we can save this one for later.
gotcha.
I think before we give them this payoff, that like the smartest path is crystal clear. If we can have a statement either before or after, like why is this path better than other paths?
Yeah, that's a good one. So you want to cover the objection, and then you can say, so the smartest path, blah blah, and then
You can give some examples, and like other businesses, it doesn't need you to XYZ, or like you don't need years of experience. Then you, so whenever we are making a statement, we need more proof around it, because we want the reasoning to be like solid as fuck here.
mm, yeah.
The thing is, you want to keep the viewer hypnotized from start to end, and the way you do that, like you guide them by hand, like you, because whenever you say this, like the smartest path to this is crystal clear, then their brain will start thinking, but why is this crystal clear? Why is it better than this all these other business models? Why should I then just start a SMMA or something like that? So if you handle the objection up front, then it becomes like smoother for them to digest this info.
I see, I see. So handle the objection and then with like examples, like
Yeah.
other business models, blah blah, like
So
disqualifying them, and then you can say,
yep. So whenever you're giving a payoff, you can either use examples before it or like handle the objections to like make the payoff stick for them.
so you want to do that before all the time, but can you do that after the payoff too?
If it's like not like a super extraordinary payoff, because here we're making a very bold claim that it's the smartest path, so it's a very
Ah,
bold claim. We will need to like have the payoff, we'll need it before the payoff.
yeah, I see, I see. That's key. Yeah, so I see. So whenever you're before, just if it's a bold claim, always use it. Use the
Yeah.
proof for the payoffs.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like basically objection handling because I'm saying this is the smartest path, blah blah. Here's how it works.
I think we can also have a transition between these two statements, like micro expression brand plus a digital product, and we can have a statement like instead of directly going into I'm going to go with this, you can just say like, and like it doesn't have to be complicated. There's a simple five formula or something like that that will help you, like even if you're a complete beginner, something like that, give them the emotion of easy basically.
Mm. Oh, that's solid. I'm gonna write that down. That's actually really nice.
I'll decide a comment like,
Does that sound good?
yeah, I think you can have a line like a five pillar blueprint that I personally use to this and that you can use to, because this is the part that they will need credibility again. Yeah, something like that.
Oh man, yeah, that's solid because I guess for me it's like trying to I'm still figuring out how to piece everything together so that it can all flow smoothly.
I think you can also, if you want, you can add one more statement like all these five pillars are connected to each other or something like that. Because if you skip even one, then the whole process falls apart, something like that. Just to like set the tone for it so they don't skip ahead.
So I can do that, like set it up. So I have two setups. I have the five pillars, and then I have the creator economy. Is that normal?
The creator economy is basically the force of nature. So we're not like selling them, reselling them on it.
And then the five pillars are to sell them on the concept to do it.
The five pillars are basically like your unique mechanism, your process.
Yeah, uh, dude, that's so nice, man. That's like copywriting, but I don't even think of it as a unique mechanism because it's so natural, I guess.
Is this audience like, does this audience know about Hormozy?
Um, I I think so.
Hormozy has this quote in, I think it was from a podcast or a book, where he was talking about like you can take this planner and you can sell it for 99, but if you make a planner for women, you can price it higher. But if you make it a planner for specifically for women over the age of this, so he was basically niching down, going deeper and deeper. So we can use that example if you can find the quote or any other similar quote to drive this point.
Oh, I think I saw that somewhere cool in $1 million offers where it's like
Yeah,
productivity
yeah,
system,
yeah, the
productivity
productivity
for like
system.
yeah. Oh, I can use that like as an example. And where would I put that? Do I just put it like somewhere here, like in this area?
I think, yeah, before giving this example, if you can just use the Hermosis example, but it depends on if this audience knows about Hermosi. If not,
Yeah,
then
they
like,
they do. Yeah, they do.
yeah, then you can use that. Yeah.
You can put the Hormozy quote. So I can say, think of it like this, or like take for example Hormozy, who said this, blah blah, and then I can say, so here's a good way to do that in practice. Yeah, because yeah, they know about Hormozy. The reason why is because I was watching the video and one of the this one starting quote with that was Alex Hormozy.
Unique values. So it's better if you separate each payoff into its one unique thing, because here we're talking about this unique value zone where we first give them this concept that you need to like niche down, and then we're giving this another concept of like look for gaps in your niche. So it would be better if you separate those into two different payoffs.
Oh, so two different payoffs, as in I want to build up the payoff before I reveal it.
So it would be like the we have this one payoff of unique value zone, but here we're covering two things. First, we're talking about you need to like get niche down, and then we're talking about like finding the gaps. So because here the payoff is like going deeper into the niche. That's the payoff for this. Then we talk about the next strategy. That's to look for gaps. So this feels like a second payoff. So this would be a separate statement apart from the unique.
Oh, oh, I know what you mean. So I'll make this so because I'm saying the next strategy because
Yeah,
it's like people will think I'm talking about the next strategy to finding your unique
yeah,
value. When
yeah,
in reality, it's a whole different, entire different strategy.
yeah.
Oh, ah, yeah, it's I see, I see. So I can say something along the lines of so the next strategy for the gap
Yeah. We can
I
just
can
separate like
transition.
something like, but just finding your unique value zone isn't enough. You can have like some examples, like because even if you find, no matter how niche down you get, there will always be uh, you'll always have competition. There will always be dozens of other creators who are posting the exact same content. So this next pillar or this next strategy or next whatever, it helps you overcome that and stand out from the competition, something along those lines. Then you give this looking for gaps.
I see, I see. Oh, so it's kind of just basically like a pay before like I give up every payoff. I'm just restating the basically how we write payoffs. Just you give the benefit and then you say, but this isn't enough.
Yeah, yeah, like it does this, but there's this one thing that's missing that will be solved by this next
Uh,
one. So
okay,
that's the
okay,
template.
okay, okay. Yeah, that's that makes more sense because I don't want to kind of you want to just keep the train of thought going.
Basically, you're going to want to see that example, like you want to make it as smooth as possible for them to follow, because anytime it becomes like stressful for them, anytime they have to use their own brain to connect the dots, they'll just click off.
Mm, gotcha, gotcha.
So we're having the CTA right at here. I don't know if there's sold yet on the concept of like the personal branding and this five pillars. I think if we have the CTA a bit later down into the script, it would be better instead of pitching it up front. How many CTAs do we have throughout the script?
There's two of these small ones and then a big one at the end.
I think we don't need one so early, because currently we're in the like the value giving mode. So if we have the CTA around payoff 4, that would be better.
Gotcha. The only reason I put this is because this creator usually likes to do this, so their audience is kind of already, I guess, what's it called? They're already used to it, if that makes sense.
If it's like a warm audience, then you can drop it. But usually you want to save the CTS for like the second half of the script.
Yeah, they're already pretty warm. Gotcha. How are the loops in this video? Help and loops.
It's good. It's good. But I think we'll have to, yeah, we'll have to like switch this one because the previous payoff is now about like finding the gaps. So we'll have to change the statement. We can't talk about unique values on here now.
This is
This one
for
will,
this is for platform. Yeah, for finding your
yeah.
platform. So how would
So
I reword it?
so if the previous payoff is like about finding a gaps in the
Yeah,
market,
yeah.
yeah, then it could be something like, but just finding the gaps in the market is, but just finding gaps in the market would be completely useless if you mess up this next step. So also you can use an analogy or something like, uh, basically like demonstrating that you can have the same thing, but if you sell it on a different place the price is different. So there's this like story, I don't know if you know it. It's like, you'll see it like every once or twice every month on Insta, this very cringe story that there's this guy whose father was about to die, then he gives him this watch and asks him like, go sell it to this place and ask them the price. Then they tells him it's like a pretty old watch. So the first guy, they tell him like, okay, I'll give you $5. Then he goes to a second place and some junk place, and they say like, okay, I'll give you $15. Then he takes it to a museum that's like that. Uh, they basically collect old pieces of like watch and
Yeah,
stuff, and
probably
they
worth
say,
more.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll pay you like 1K. So basically, it's like giving you the analogy of, you can have the same thing, but if you are in a different place, your worth will be more. So you need to find that. So you can use that analogy here.
So I can use that from the start at the start of the like the payoff, like right here in the Y section.
Yeah, so after this, like, but just finding gaps would be completely useless if you mess up this step. Then you can have like, let me explain. Then you go into the analogy
Yeah.
because this is like a very basic bitch payoff. We are not like thingifying it, so we can use an analogy here.
No, yeah. Well, I say how I think about it, I guess, is I say to find your platform, right, I reveal the payoff, but then I said, but the thing is, most beginners mess part up completely because I understand, but how do I say this? So the basically this line isn't enough, right? I'm assuming. But the thing is,
Yeah,
most
so
isn't enough. You need to include more yapping to
yeah, you can have this analogy, and then you can cut this one out and directly go into this. Like, this could be the difference between having a brand that generates this. Yeah, so you can cut this. You can cut this part out, I'd say.
this part.
Yeah, replace it with the analogy, and then have the statement like, this next pillar could be the difference between having a brand that generates this to generating this, and that
And
is to find your platform.
gotcha. And then I can just include just resume this. But the thing is, most people mess this part up
Yeah.
entirely. Blah blah. Gotcha.
I think this one is like a bit like, we're talking about finding a platform, then we add the statement like they try to juggle five different platforms. I don't think it's like super connected to it. Instead, we want to redirect it or reframe it around like finding the right platform. Like, it's just something like, uh, instead of, currently we're telling that most people try to juggle multiple platforms, that's why they fail. Instead, if we rephrase it like, most people post on the wrong platform, that's why they fail. And then we give examples like, if you are a fitness audience and you're posting on Pinterest, then you won't get views. And similarly, if you're like a, you do writing stuff and you post on something like some other platform, then you want to get views, something like that.
That's gold. I kind of that's actually really good. Yeah, because for these examples, I kind of tie it back to the wrong platform. It ties it back to that really well.
I think we can make it a bit more concise. So Okay, we have this now. You understand how to find your horizon foundation. What's the beginning? Yeah, we can just have we can make basically we can make this part a bit more concise instead of just saying without knowing how to create content, because then we're giving the payoff straight away. Instead, you can say something like 90% people have this figured out, but the next 10% is what separates the winners from the something along those lines. Or
So I wanna
there's
reveal
a
payoff.
yeah. There's a graph that I think you can find it on Twitter that just like shows up on Twitter every 1 to 2 weeks, that the top 10% of creators get 90% of the views on YouTube. So you can leverage that as like a force of nature, and then go into this next point. That is why like creating micro niche content is important, because if you want to make money with this, you will have to be in the top 10%, and that's what you can do with this next pillar, and that is to create micro niche content. So whenever possible, you want to use some kind of proof to back it up, basically either examples or graphs, statistics. Every time if you can find something like that, it would like make it much more concrete, instead of us just saying that, oh, this is important. But if we can just use a quote or an example to show why this is important, that would be like much more impactful.
Gotcha. So let's see. So you said use a graph, and then because if you want to make money with this, you have to be in the top 10%,
Yeah,
which is why pillar three is how to create micro niche content. Uh yeah. So you were talking about the proof examples, graph statistics, and quotes. Those are basically you use those to drive the point home before you reveal the payoff.
yeah. Those
So
are basically like mini forces of nature before you
when
reveal your payoff.
so you always want to use those before you reveal the payoff. So the payoff hits 10 times harder.
Yeah, like whenever possible, if you can find any, like, it's like a good practice to include those. Like if you just saw the SMMA script I wrote for this guy, where he was talking about, oh, I read this in this book that the weakest chain is what holds you back, or something like that. I think that was the payoff. Then instead of just saying that, oh, if you have a SMMA, it will always be held back by your weakest chain, if we can just use a quote from a book or some author or some like well-known person, it makes it much more believable for them. Basically, it targets that emotion of safe.
Yeah. That's actually key. That's actually a really core concept I should focus on because that could be a difference between having like someone click off or someone just keep watching and then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
make a sale off of them. Boom.
because if you just give them like, oh, this is important, then their brain just starts to think, but why should I listen to this person? She's just trying to take my money. So it's that if you have examples of other people, they do the selling for you, basically.
Mm. So yeah. So they'll probably think why is she yapping about this? Like and then instead of like right here yapping about it, you can
Yeah,
just put an example that proves your point
yeah,
and people
we
are
can
like,
have
oh,
other people handle the app for us instead.
yeah. So yeah, that's really core. Do you have
Yeah.
like a good? Do you have a good like the SMA script you wrote? Is that like a good example of that, or I guess the Jose one? Because I want to look at examples. That helps me learn more.
Yeah, even in the Jose one, if you see, we had like this lot of research stuff, that this research shows this research shows that, this they conducted this experiment and found this. So that's how you make it like more concrete for them, instead of just preaching to them.
Do you also want to? Do you want to do that? Do you do it every time you have the chance, or is there a point where it's too much that you're doing it like every
Yeah,
single?
it depends on like how huge this payoff is, or like how, if it's like pretty obvious, then you won't have to like do it. Like if there's something, let's think of a very obvious one, like you need to have good thumbnails. So for that, you won't have to have like a super long drawn out payoff. You can just show like two examples, like, oh, these videos are around the exact same content, but this one got more views than this because of the thumbnail. So it's pretty self-explanatory, because it's a pretty like light-hearted topic. Basically, you don't have to hard sell them.
I see. I see. So yeah, the example it depends on the how huge the payoff.
Yeah,
If the
yeah,
payoff is
basically
small, yeah,
it depends on the magnitude of the payoff.
yeah. If it's small, you don't have to like. Yes, find that create those crazy examples like to prove your point. But if
Yep.
it's like really like micro niche content, you should you
Yeah.
should look for those like
Yep.
graphs,
Yep.
statistics to prove it.
Because that's like a huge payoff. So you'll need the proof there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, like even in this one, you can have a reframe. Like instead of just saying that's why I've come up with a three-step micro niche content strategy. If you have a something like that's why after studying this many creators or after studying this, if you just have an input bias that why should they trust you after studying this or after making this much, I've distilled it into a three-step formula, something along those lines.
Mm. So you always want to basically just give proof after like just
Yeah.
put input
Yeah.
bias out there. Basically, you're kind of always covering their objection.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
That's how like make it smooth for them. And you don't like give them a chance to use their own brain basically in any part of the script.
oh shit, that's some high level concept.
And anytime they start thinking, then they'll just watch the next video on the sidebar and click on it. If they don't use their brain, they will keep watching.
Ah, yeah. So that you do that by always providing proof and always making this feel, always giving examples, proof, making that safe motion.
Yeah, basically by making it as easily digestible for them, so they
Ah,
don't have to use their brain at all.
oh, that's pretty high concept. You gotta use that into a lot of your lines. Wow. I want to see some. I got to study some more of that to see how people do it. I guess what are some good creators that do that online?
Hmm. Like Iman used to do it very well, but now I don't think Iman uses scriptwriter anymore. He just yaps. He just has outlines. I think now
Yeah, Iman just yaps. Uh,
he has just become master of the yap now. It's inbuilt into his system now.
but who else? Like his old videos, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think many guys, if you see in the YouTube growth space, especially channels like Think Media, Film Booth, they use a lot of like any channel in YouTube growth space. Their scripts are like worth studying. They use a lot of the elements that you want to include in your scripts.
Think Media, Film Booth, and who else did you mention?
Aprillian Alter, or I'll say,
Oh,
let me
April. Yeah, April.
just do it. Also, like, I don't know if you know of this channel, like, he doesn't post pretty consistently.
John Dorman. Okay, those are pretty good. They always use the like this kind of format where I'm not
Even
using my
Amplify Views, he does it.
amplify views.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's also in space. Or most of their videos like that, or you'll have to like just look around for the ones.
Mostly around the ones where like yeah, some of their videos will be just pretty like technical stuff like this, how to upload a video the right way. So you want to skip those ones and go more into the ones where they explain topics and concepts that are like less known. Like let me see if I can pull up this guy's channel.
Yeah, whenever I was watching April's video, the I think I linked it. These creators blew up, so you can too. Now you can.
Yeah,
Yeah, she basically didn't make me use my brain at all. I just felt like she was
yeah,
explaining everything so digestible.
yeah. I think you can take a look at this video. You'll use a lot of examples in thumbnail hacks one.
Wait, which one?
Even
I didn't hear you.
the thumbnail hacks.
The thumbnail hacks that explains it.
Yeah, and also I think this one because he's just talking about one strategy here. So see how he uses proof to like eh, basically solidify this concept of this one strategy to sell the viewer on this concept of one strategy. See how he
Gotcha.
does that.
So those two videos, the thumbnail and the proven strategy, are the ones where he gives examples, makes it
Yeah,
easily digestible and stuff, right?
yeah. There was another video on his channel. I don't remember which ones. It was something about how small channels are blowing up. You can find that.
Yeah, because
Even you can watch this
yeah,
video.
yeah.
So you want to watch the type of videos where he's talking about one concept. Like in this one, you can see like this stops 95% of viewers. So he's going to talk about some one concept and he's going to sell you on that. Even in this one, this stops. So you can watch this kind of videos to get an idea of the concept.
This stops 9% of videos getting more views. That one too.
Yeah, this too.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, those are solid. Yeah, dude, that's fucking crazy, man.
Explain. If you can like make it more concrete whenever possible, so if you can just have one script, like when we're telling this, we're telling them to do this, like watch 3 to 5 of the videos and take notes of the key points and stuff. So either you can put it in the edit or just have a short paragraph explaining, like just find one video around this concept of best day trading strategies, and you can just show it on the screen in the form of an edit, like this payoff one is this, payoff two is this. You can show the script, the structure of the script on the screen in the edit, like intro, body, CTA, and then in the body you can have payoff one, payoff two, payoff three. Just to like solidify this concept in the for the reader.
All right, so I'm talking about if I'm talking about like like structure instructions, I want to give like a basic outline of a good script, like
Yeah,
how I
yeah,
operate it, and then yeah, obviously the same thing for you said for example the best day trading strategies. I can link a video about like a YouTuber explaining the best day
mhm,
trading strategies. You put down the
yeah,
edit.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like this is a good example. Like here you're attaching an example. Like you want to find comments like this, so it's more concrete for the reader. Because
uh,
if you just say this, like you want to take notes on their key points, structure and introduction, then the viewer will start using his brain, like what can be a good structure, what can be a good introduction, then he will get lost. So you want to keep them hooked with this, giving them an example, like this is what's a good structure, this is what's a good intro.
holy shit. Yeah, so damn. So I want to put that in the edit and just link examples. Because doesn't that drag on the video too long? I guess you're putting more effort into the examples, or I guess that can just be used in the edits, like you said.
Like yeah, if you just show it in the edit, it will just take like 5 seconds, so it wouldn't like drag on that way.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. That's man, that's some solid stuff because it ties everything. It gives them more, like you said, it's more concrete, so they don't have
Yeah.
to use their brain at all.
Mhm.
It's like a baby. You're feeding a baby.
Yeah, exactly. That's the concept. Like you see, this copywriters talk about right at a fifth grade level. That's the same as that.
Ah, right at the fifth grade level. Yeah, so they so digestible.
Yeah,
Not,
but
not,
instead of
not
fifth grade, we're making it like first grade for this guys.
oh, first grade for these guys. That yeah, so they say right at fifth grade level, but they don't explain how. Then this is
Yeah,
how.
yeah, exactly.
Fuck those guys. That's why they made millions, and they only shared the basic tips on their books.
Yeah, you can just like yeah, you can post this one on the screen instead of reading it out loud. Just use this chat GPT prompt and show it on the screen.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Post chat GPT outline on the screen. Okay. There's this line. I have to put some proof here. Said it
Which
again.
one?
That one.
Nah, because that's what we're basically doing for the entire part. We're giving them the strategy, so we don't need to add another line.
Ah, gotcha, gotcha. You already given the proof. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think we need to like do this for every payoff. Like if you recap it for them, then again, like it's like you don't need to do it for every payoff. I think we did it like just for the previous one. So you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
skip it. You
So
can just
what?
have like one line. So now you know how to come up with ideas, but it's useless if you don't know how to the proper way to shoot this, or like if you don't know how to keep the audience watching, something along those lines.
So I can now just use those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because this payoff is like not something like super. It doesn't have a very high magnitude. Like you don't have to convince the audience too much on this one.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I don't have to. If I don't have to convince them, I can
Yeah, just
just
get into
review,
it directly.
just reveal it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so don't recap for everyone.
So we have another CTA here. Damn, how many CTAs this girl put in?
What's that?
She just put in another CTA. Just like after two more payoffs.
No, I put it in there.
How many CTAs? Do we have one more CTA after this, or just the main, like the
No,
three-way
no,
close?
no. This is after this is a close.
Alright,
I put these CTAs because it's just how her audience is used to watching her videos.
mm.
They're mainly warm.
It just feels like an ad break after every payoff. Like, oh, but before I get into the next one, here's a quick ad.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too in my brain. But I mean, she liked it, dude. I was like, okay,
If
fucking
it
just
works for her, then
keep it in
put it
there.
in.
I'm not gonna say anything, bro. It's already paid, dude. I'm like, okay, just keep it in there. I don't have to
If
put that.
it, if it works, it works.
But if she said something about it, okay, then yeah, I'll change it. But she doesn't care. I was like, okay. That's what I think in my brain too. I'm like, oh, I don't want to put this shit, but I watch her stuff and I'm like, okay, she does it. I might as well do it.
Dude, like the first, like one of my first clients I used to do emails for, like she would change the subject line and then she would not get opens. Then she would ask me like, oh, why is it not getting? I wonder why the fuck is it not getting opens? You want to
No fucking way. No way she did that. She hired a copywriter.
like just let me handle it.
No way. I want to ask, is this part good? Like I think
The transition.
it's above. It's above. It's like in the content creator one. Um
This
it,
one.
um no, up a little bit more up, like a line above. Yeah, right here where I mentioned one of the micro niche. It's like I'm using proof here.
I think we have used this guy's example already two
So
times. So I think if we can use some other creator, that would be better.
so I want to vary up the examples as well. I don't want to use the same person.
Yeah, yeah.
I see, I see.
Or you don't even have to show this, like talk about the example. You can just show it and edit, like just like this creators, and then you show like three creators on the screen and their editing style on the screen. You can do that.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. You can just show and edit and just link them.
Yep.
Not the access proof, man. That's some good. Yeah, because I just kind of I took the tying it up all together concept too seriously. I just start fucking
Yeah.
linking things from year back. I think I use the same.
Yeah, the transition. I think we can just keep it into the one sentence. But like now that you know, instead of just listing out everything, we can just get into like now that you have your audience, now that you have built trust with your audience, how do you convert this trust, or how do you convert your audience into buyers, or how do you make money from them? Just have one sentence instead of just giving them this entire recap.
How do you turn
Uh,
these this? How do you turn this?
yeah,
Small,
turn your viewers into loyal customers or lifelong buyers, something like that.
how do you turn this trust these viewers into long time
Yeah,
buyers? Boom.
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Gotcha.
you
Gotcha.
can also have this statement. This one is good. I like this one. How do you tap into this one? Statement.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So just cut this thing out and then cut the shit and then
Yeah, just have this two statements about the first one and then the second one. How do you
yeah,
turn this?
and then I can keep this.
Yeah, yeah, you can cut that one. You can cut that one.
Oh, I'll cut that one too.
Yeah, just have this two. Or you can put this one at the top. Like that can be the first statement of the transition. But now the big questions remains. Now that you have done this, how do you turn it into bias? How do you do this?
Oh
So like,
yeah, yeah. That's a good one.
yeah,
But now but the big question remains. Now that you built trust with your audience, how do you
yeah,
turn them into long-term buyers? And how do you tap into this tell me about the industry, but yeah, blah
Yeah,
blah blah. Yeah, that's where you can just reveal it.
yeah.
That's fucking yapping at its core. I don't want to. I don't even want to talk and do it because I've read it. I'm like, I don't want to fucking repeat that.
This one you can yeah, even when you're like you can like so it feels like a bit smoother instead of having this but just a bunch of long statements one after the another. It's just giving them a break rhythm.
Pairing up the sentences. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, if you can like whenever you're giving this, whenever if you can like break it down more into numbers, like if you can make it more concrete, like imagine your video gets this many views, out of those this many people sign up and you earn a commission of this much, then you can easily make this much from one video if you can make it more concrete for them in by using numbers.
Mm. Off of just like an affiliate program that pays, I don't know, $50 per commission.
Yeah. Yeah, then you can just say like, oh, and even if just like 20 people sign up, that's like 1K for one video, something like that, those lines.
Ah, so you use numbers as the proof.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, just logic and just making it digestible.
Hmm.
Damn, dude. Yeah, yeah. That's fucking solid.
Yeah, also for this, yeah, I think we're like too deep into the script. We don't need to rehook them. But imagine if this section was ahead, like if it was for a separate script and if it was like around payoff 3 or 4, then we can have like some other kind of transition here. Like, but with affiliate marketing, you are dependent on other people's products. But the second way is where you have complete control over your product, something like that. Then you reveal the payoff.
So in this script, it's already too deep, so you don't really have to do it.
Yeah.
But if
If
you're
they're
like,
already at like the sixth payoff, they're already like they're going to watch the entire thing now anyway. So you don't need to
you don't need
go
to
more.
rehash it again. But if
Yeah.
it's like the first few payoffs, like 2 to 3, uh, gotcha. If they're, but with this, you're not, and you can blah blah blah.
Instead of using this term overhead cost, if you can just simplify it because you just create the course once and it keeps printing on autopilot. You don't have to give time or something like that. Just if you can simplify it for them.
Ah, gotcha. Using use basic language.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Okay, now we're going to close. I think we can cut this statement out and get directly into this. Because then they will again start to think, what are these 100 ways? I need to find out what other ways are there.
Oh yeah,
So,
you're just opening a loop.
yeah.
Oh fuck. Yeah, you're right.
And instead of just like now that you've seen beginners, you can just convert it to something like, and you see, and this is exactly how beginners like this are making thousands. Just convert it. You can just make it this one. Yeah, you can just let's just change it right now. Yeah, you can just have it. It's exactly how beginners like. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of knew that the 100 more ways was kind of off, but I didn't really think about it. I just wanted to kind of make it like put more benefits,
Mm-hmm.
but it
I was
just
thinking,
actually backfired.
this video forward. Yes. Yeah, it's too basically we took it from the
Well,
yeah,
I took your video of yourself. Like, yeah, dude, this shit works. I might just.
yeah. Yeah, it's like pretty standard. Like anytime you have a three-way close or a crossroads close, the structure is just like similar. You have option A, option B, and then you set yours.
Yeah, the option B is to basically disqualify them from
Yeah,
being free, like penny pinchers, like watching your
yeah,
free stuff. But that's what I thought whenever I was reading yours. I was like, oh, I get this. I just fucking used it.
enjoy it.
That's what I was explaining to her, but she was like, "Can we cut this shorter?" And I was like, "No, we need to disqualify them from
Yeah,
using your."
exactly. Because once you have given them this much payoff, they'll think, oh, now I can go try and figure all of this out on my own. That's what we not want to do.
Yeah, that's what I told her. I was like, If we don't say that, then people will try to use your free products to get by, and we don't want that. We want to buy, obviously your offer."
What did she say?
And she was like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Okay, at least you have prospects that know how to use their brain, unlike me. Like just they're going to just change the email subject line and then ask me why is it not working.
Yeah. So and she was like, "Yeah, let's keep it there." And that's it.
If you can put in more numbers here whenever you're given like highest amount, that will pay you like the highest for your offers. If we can make it concrete, like how much are we talking about? Is it 1K, 2K, 3K? If we can use more numbers, make it concrete.
Yeah, yeah. So use more numbers to make the pay concrete, basically what they're getting.
Yeah, like to visualize for them. Like when you use numbers, they can basically visualize getting a PayPal notification or Stripe notification. Apart, if you just say highest for offers, they can't picture it.
Oh,
Even for this one, you can use numbers. Like when you're talking about, I'll teach you exactly how to find the right affiliate products and promote them to your exact audience. So you can make like XYZ from just one video, something along those lines. So you can make this much every time you post a video, something like that.
oh shit. That's very niche, but it makes a big difference.
Hmm.
So basically, they wanna that's how they can visualize, and then that's how
Yeah.
they can use that to digest the content
You're,
more.
you're future pacing them basically. Basically, you're telling them like this can be your life in the next month, in the next 2 months if you join this. Yeah, this is good. This is good. This is good. It's pretty solid now. This should convert.
That's what convert. Okay. Okay. Damn. Thank you, man. Fuck. This is pretty comprehensive.
We have another one, right?
Yeah. The
So
7.
yeah.
That one is not a VSL, but it's like I'm still throwing CTAs in there because that's what she wants. So
Mm. It's for the same creator.
yeah, it's
Is it like in a listicle format?
yeah, it's listicle format.
So
Yeah.
what's like the main aim of this video? Is there a particular business model we're trying to sell the reader on?
Yeah, so we're basically linking it back to her the same product as the VSL,
Hmm.
but we're tackling it from the angle of content creation. So to do all these business models, or most of them, I think like 60% of them, you need to know how to create content, and that's where the mentorship of the program comes in, and
Mm.
and you can learn how to basically just tying it back to that.
Hmm.
for the first few ones.
Okay, let's go through it. This part, like for the hook, you can make it a bit more shorter. Like instead of having these bullets, like you can start a Shopify. So you can this. You can just say there are countless businesses you can start, and then you can have like let's say print on demand, drop shipping. So we just got it out in just like 3 words instead of having to go through this large
Oh,
sentence. And we're
that's
giving the exact
that's
same thing because this applies especially to the hook, because in the hook we want to make it as punchy as possible for the viewer.
oh, I'm gonna keep that in there. How do
Yeah,
I?
you can just have that like
Let's see. Drop shipping. Um,
you can
yeah,
even add like 2 or 3 more if you want in there. Now that we
uh,
have that.
SMA, SMA, Amazon. I'm scared. I don't even
Yeah.
know.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
And this is
But in this video, blah blah blah.
yeah, this is solid hook. I like this. This is solid hook. Because first we're teasing them with this. Yeah, if you see, this plays into the context and curiosity. This we're building context and then we're giving the curiosity. But I'm not going to talk about any of this. I'm talking about this. So first we're giving them this. This is context and then this is curiosity.
I didn't even know I was doing that, dude. I just did it.
Mhm. It just if you put in more reps, it just becomes subconscious.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing.
Another way, like if you watch some of this documentary channels, like do you know Dotford?
I think I've heard of him. Yeah, what about him?
If you see those kind of documentary channels, even like Magnets Media, all those channels, if you just watch a video from them every week, not like just to binge or like doom scroll, if you just study their structure, they follow a very good storytelling structure that you can that will like start subconsciously picking up, and then you can use later in your educational videos.
What's his name? Doc Ford?
Dotford, just replace the C with the
Oh, I got
letter.
you. Dot Ford. I got you. Yeah, I'll look into them. Damn, dude. Yeah, that's nutty. That's pretty good.
You just start to like pick up on their concept, like
There's the context, curiosity, that kind of storytelling.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah.
Let's jump to the first one. AI affiliate marketing. What is the study of this? This I like this one. We're targeting the customer's pains. We're getting into their head.
Mm.
Instead of streamlines, you can just use a simpler word, like simplifies the process.
Mm.
That makes it to where you can. Just combine. I think we can. Are we going to leave this at this thing that you can use this tools, or are we going to show them how to use it?
Yeah, so I want to leave it at that because uh I'm pretty sure she has a few videos already explaining this.
So yeah, you can link
Yeah.
one of those videos there. Just like I have a full video on my channel for that.
Oh, I have a full video explaining how to do this in depth, I can say, and then
Yeah,
you can just go to the next thing.
yeah, yeah. This works in like listicle videos. Let's say you are making a video where you are talking about one concept, and then you inserted this that like, oh, I have a full video that you can check out. Then we don't want to do that for those videos because then they will click off and kill the retention. But in this one, they won't click off because they still want to know what are the other 6 business models. So they will watch the.
Oh, oh shit.
So let's say there was a video around like how to make a thumbnail, and then you had a payoff in the middle that your thumbnail should complement the title. And if you want to know how to write good titles, then watch that. Then they will just go and watch that.
That's fucking stupid, bro. Because
Yeah.
it's like they watch the they want to know. They click on this video to learn more about how to do it, and then someone just says, "Oh, but you can learn how to do that in my other video."
Yeah, so you want to leave that part for the ends most of the times.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. So I can just say I have a full video on my channel explaining how to do this in depth, and then I can transition the next business idea. Blah
Yeah,
blah.
you can just get into the next one.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
It's creating AI videos. Yeah, this is good. So we want to do more of this stuff, like using numbers to make it concrete for them, like how much they can make with this. So we're doing the CTA here.
Yeah. Yep.
How does it
Yep. Yep.
work on the channel? Like she just puts in the CTA in the like the
Yeah.
second page. That's
Yeah.
insane.
That's what she does, dude. She just tells me in the outline. She told me, "I want you to, tie it back to the coaching program afterward." And I'm like, I don't say
Okay.
anything, dude. I'm getting paid to do that, so I'm like, okay,
I
whatever,
think
whatever.
her audience is like mostly people who just like just getting into making money online and want to make money quick. I think.
Yeah, they're pretty much those people. So
Mm,
I guess it works, huh?
yeah, for them because they have the shiny object syndrome, so they'll just click on it and like most likely they'll buy. Also, like if they're working a job, they have the money to spend on this impulse purchases.
Yeah, it works because they're mostly beginners.
Mm.
Yeah,
But if
so
you're like selling a high ticket product or something, then you don't want to like spam CTS, especially after the second payoff.
gotcha. You don't want to spam because you want to sell them more on the idea. You want to warm them up even more.
Yeah, this is good. So this is the thing I was talking about in the previous script, that the transition between affiliate to digital. This is what we could have used if it was like the earlier on, like you said, exactly.
Oh yeah, yeah. So basically, this I'm not
Yeah,
recapping. I'm just saying the
yeah,
problem. I'm just
yeah,
saying like a quick line. But this one, and then
yeah,
boom,
yeah.
just drop it
This
on
is,
them
this is a good transition.
like a bomb.
I don't think it's a good example. A good, it's good to use her example here because we're telling that with this you don't have to be an expert. Like basically, we're telling that you don't need to put that much effort in it, and then they will associate, oh, then her course is not that good because she isn't an expert. She hasn't put effort into it. That's what they will associate it with.
Oh,
They will think it's just lazily made because she's saying, oh, it took me just 6 hours, and they will think, oh, this what I think that they will think, oh, it's just dog shit. It just she just used ChatGPT and made it in 6 hours.
you're right. You're right. You're right.
So if you can find some other
So find
creators
someone
example,
else.
yeah,
Yeah. So fine. Just replace with another. I'm just gonna put like a cooking creator. Just put
yeah, you
their
can some
their
of
cook
those
their
like cooking,
cookbook.
gardening, the easy ones.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that way they don't think I'm gonna link them to like a fucking drop shipper or something.
Yep.
That'll be funny too. That's even worse than linking them to your course or saying it's 6 hours. Just linking it to another job shipper, like they'll scam.
They'll just never come back to a channel ever. Like fuck this.
Yeah, exactly.
You can have a line here to explain why you want to pick one of these niches, because like these are evergreen niches or something like that. That common line that they use. Why pick between those? Yeah, so instead of this one, we can like simplify like just the wording. So we're talking, you can have 5 modules, each one discussing the fundamentals. So instead of that, we can just use a more conversational tone. Like module one can be about where to find affiliate links. Module two can be the best platform for post. So Basically, how you talk and explain it to a friend in that way instead of using a like a robotic tone.
Yeah, that's what I struggle about with sometimes. I don't know how you do it so well. I guess it's more reps because you always talking about
I just read it out loud when I'm writing it. I just read it out loud and see if it doesn't feel natural, then I just reword it.
Oh, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, read out loud. Gotcha.
Dude, we're having another CTA. Fuck.
No, dude, I have to, bro. I have to. It's like I'm being held at gunpoint to do them. It's like there's a gun being held to my head. They're saying it,
Insane.
bro. Put up with the CTA, bro. I'm like,
How many more do we have? Do we have one for
yeah,
every
yeah, I got
payoff?
one more. I got one more, bro.
Fuck,
At
like
this,
you just promoted it in the previous payoff, but
at this, dude, that's what I'm saying, bro. But yeah, dude, and, it's not my audience, right?
I should start taking this approach in my YouTube videos. Just give them one tip and say, "Oh, you need more? Buy my fucking course."
You just do it, dude. That would be funny. I want to see it in action. That would be like a mini ad break. At this point, this is becoming Godsy Juniors.
No, instead, like Iman is becoming less salesy now because he's targeting more business owner and less like make money like teenagers and stuff.
Oh yeah, he's targeting like the big boys now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he dropped the sales tactics for the teens.
Mm.
Is this part good?
Yeah, then it's decent. Like with content creation, it's like a very basic bitch thing. So you can't like do too much around it, but we're giving them examples that this is what you don't want to do, this is what you want to do.
Mm.
Yeah, also like we're using this example to drive this point home. Yeah, so this is a good way to use examples because a lot of people use this line that oh you just need to be at a level at this level you need to just be one level ahead, but then they don't give an example of this. But here we have this example, so that's a good thing.
Mm. So the what not to do, what to do, like the influencers versus real
Yeah,
content.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
gotcha, gotcha. That's pretty good. Oh,
Dude,
don't read it, bro. Let me just block it out with
I'm
like
gonna crash out now. She's just spamming CTS, man. We just had 3 payoffs with CTS.
dude, yeah, that's what I had to do, bro. It's in the outline. She was like, "I want you to do this, I want you to do that, blah blah." I'm like,
Oh my god.
how was the 3 pillar creator formula? Like the past this one I'm highlighting.
Point eight, point. I think you can thingify them because if you're talking about pillars and then we're just saying like, oh, the first pillar is like post 2 to 3 videos a week to get them to this, that would like instead if you can just think about it, like the pillar one is called the content bridge. This is where you post 3 to 2 videos that act like a bridge to take your readers or your audience from point A to point B.
Oh, do you have to do that for everyone, or like?
I think because when we're talking about pillars, if we can give them a name.
Mm, that's like very niche. I'm assuming. It's like it won't make or break your video, but it will help.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't. I guess because I thinkified the creator formula, so I
Yeah, like
thought,
this last one, we might not need to think about. Like it's very basic. Like focus on delivering the best digital product.
oh, gotcha. Can cut this off.
Hmm.
we don't need to even think about this. I'm gonna I guess I'm gonna keep it because it's already there.
Yeah, I think it won't like make or break the script.
Yeah, it won't. Awesome.
Yeah, we're just gonna ignore this part. We're gonna pretend it doesn't exist. We're gonna get into
Yeah.
the next.
Well, it sounds pretty good to me too.
Yeah,
Just ignore it then.
it doesn't exist. We're ignoring that part.
But I like the CTAs. Now they're becoming a part of me.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I think we reviewed this part already, where we're talking about the context and curiosity. That we build curiosity, telling them this thing of digital persuasion, then we give them context that, oh, it's just like writing, persuasive writing to help online businesses. Then we give them these examples.
Is the hook good for this?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
dope.
awesome. Yeah, we can just. I think we just skip this.
Behind viewers. Mhm. Yeah, this is like pretty good basic witch advice for our audience, or just like looking to make money fast.
Yeah. Was the hook for this section good? The content repurposing.
Yeah, yeah, it ties into the previous ones. That
Awesome.
oh, but th- all of them do this, but there's this one problem that's what the sixth one tells.
And my loops are getting better now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. You can just instead of saying like, but what if you this? Instead of just saying like, you can just use this line and replace this line with it. Like, but what if you could combine both of the skills into a higher paying opportunity or something like that?
Hmm.
That's where the next business model comes in and it's growth operating.
Uh so I don't have to put, you know, what if you just want to help other creators make tons of money, blah blah. I can just put what if you want to put these together to make more money.
Yeah, because that appeals more to their desires because no one wants to help other creators make tons money. They want to make money themselves.
Ah, yeah, you're right. Appeal to their desires. Cut this out because people want to make more money. Oh, yeah, that's solid. Gotcha, gotcha. Let's cut this shit up. There we go. Mhm.
Yeah, this is solid. This is solid. Apart from that,
I'm gonna change those little things, but it should be good.
yeah, it's good to go.
Sounds good. Oh shit, thank you, man. We'll see.
Take a look at the structure. So 9 to 5, drop shipping, then here drop shipping we do. Uh, social media content creation, and then we got into digital products. Then we have to close. What's the length of this? So around 15 minutes. Let's see. This was me many years ago. So this one I can get specific. Like this was me in insert years. This was me in 2015, 2016. That would be more specific. Paint the picture for the.
Mm.
This was me in 2016. I went. So this would be like reframe. You'll have to reframe it like I was working at a Starbucks. Like if you're including this, then the next line will be like not I went from, it will be like I was working at Starbucks minimum wage, but now it's insert here, and now I'm making this. This was me in 2016. I was working at Starbucks on minimum wage at XYZ. Fast forward to today in 2025, and this is my state. Yeah, this can be like a separate phrase in itself.
Mm. Fast forward today, I'm now making blah 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 blah.
Like it can just be I've made it over XYZ on the internet, or like you can talk about how much is making every month. Currently, I'm now making this much.
Every month. Okay, okay.
Or one thing you can do is like if you want, you can give them the scale of it. Like this is how much he was making per hour. Now he's making this much more than that. I was making $12 an hour. Now I'm making 1,200. So now I'm making like 100x more than that. Something like that. That would put it into perspective if you want to go that route, or you can just keep it simple like this. That's up to you.
Yeah, let's do the hour one. That sounds like a banger.
Yeah, and then you can say that that's this much more
That's
than
like
that's
yeah.
yeah.
So
So if we put it into numbers, like let's say this will be something like this was made in 2016. I was working at a Starbucks on minimum wage, making $12 an hour. Fast forward to today in 2025, I'm now making over 1,200 an hour. That's a 10x. That's 100 times more than what I was making previously.
okay, that's good. Hmm.
Okay, so this thing can be a bit earlier. Like I'm not telling you this to brag. It can be here. Like after this, buying his buying a home for his mom. It can be before. Like, but I'm not telling you this to brag. My goal is this. So because when you're giving them all these things, encouraging their dreams, they're like, oh, this guy just a douche. He's telling me all this bullshit. Sell me a course or something.
Mm. Okay, okay. So after you kind of reveal the like what you did, you kind of just have to cover that
Yeah.
objection immediately.
Then you can have this section like instead of but, it can be like because the truth is it wasn't always this
Oh,
easy.
easy. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, pretty solid. Wherein social proof encouraging their dreams. Have you decided the title for this?
I think the title was how I made this how I went from making this amount to this in
Hmm.
X years.
Yeah,
My story or something. I think that was it.
yeah, you can take the Jordan Welsh one we discussed
Yeah,
on
I
your
picked
previous.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Even the content format, it's like a pretty proven format that works.
Yeah. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah, this is pretty solid. So, all right, just jump right in.
Everyone starts out with a single mom story. I had to do
Yeah.
it.
Everyone's got a single mom. You got to have a single mom to succeed.
I had to do it too, dude.
Yeah,
Iman,
that's the secret. Iman started
dude.
this. This one can be a bit more, just the wording can be a bit more impactful because this is the part which we want to hit hard. Like there was this one moment I'll never forget. So how we can rephrase it? Like so currently what you're saying it, but there's one moment I'll never forget. It was when I took the bus home from school and I was going to meet my mom at a job, at a workplace, which is a burger shop, and I remember just feeling so sorry. Or you can just rephrase it like that, like and well, then you can go into this describing how she was looking. Like she just looked exhausted. She was the only person working all this and this.
Mm.
So once you do this is much more impactful.
How do you do that, man? It's so clean.
Just watching again, like the more you consume this content,
Damn, that's yeah, that's a good it's like a breaking point, like a curiosity. You want to know what's happening next.
Yeah. Also, it like hits hard. Like, why will he never forget the look? What was the look on her face? What was it?
Yeah, it hits hard. It's like a memorable moment.
Yeah, it's like a storytelling hack. Like if you watch those documentaries and stuff, you'll see they do this pretty well. If you watch some content from Magnets Media and all that stuff, they do it.
Mm. And then you could just jump into saying what happened.
Yeah, you can just describe it like she just looked exhausted. She was the only person running back and forth.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome.
Just look bad. And, like if you, this is the section you can like expand it a bit more, like because this is a key part. This is the why behind why he's working. So you can say you can add one or two more sentences like this wasn't just a one-time occurrence. This is what my mom had to go through every day, and just even when I was in school, this thing was playing in the back of my head. Just knowing that how hard my mom is working and all that. So you can just like dig deeper into it in the pain for this.
This memory replayed in my mind every single day in the back of
Yeah.
my mind. So you want to go deeper? Is for the reason you want to put it? So you want to make it longer so you can drive the point home, I guess, like the
You
why.
want to make the origin story hit hard because this will basically be the foundation. This will make them care for the rest of the story. The tougher the struggle is, the harder it hits, the more they're invested into it.
So the origin story kind of works as a kind of like a force of nature.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, mm,
That's what the physics have to say.
okay.
Is like opening a dropshipping store something that this audience is like pretty familiar with.
Yeah, I mean, he used to do like some drop shipping videos.
Mm.
Yeah. Is
If,
it
if they're if
if
they're
you're
not
not?
like
Yeah.
similar, then you have to add a line or two. Like I spent this many weeks researching all this make money online things online, like ways to make money online, and finally I settled upon this one thing, and that was to open a dropshipping store. Because for many of them, it might not be obvious. Like why did he open a dropshipping store? Like why wasn't it something else, like SMMA or something? Like what was the thought process behind it?
Oh, and I spent these many weeks researching how to make money, and I came to this
And
one
based
business
on my state, or like based on his research or whatever he went through, he settled upon this one business model.
settled on this. Uh-huh. Gotcha. So if they're like the awareness level again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because if like it might not be very obvious for them, like why a drop shipping store of all things.
Gotcha.
Like if you look at your writing in this script, basically it's pretty solid. It's like conversational, right? Like compared to the previous scripts we are looking, it's like something you would say out loud. I don't know if it's just because it's a story, or but it's like much better in this way.
I think it's because of
It's
the story, dude.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think I'm way better writing the stories like conversationally than educational. Yeah, because I keep like elaborating really well. I don't break the train of thought.
Even this section you can make it a bit harder. This one section, the dark point. Like whenever you're going into a dark point or like a bright point, we want to like expand on it a bit more. Like what are the emotions they were going through, the feeling of despair. Like if you can make them visualize it, like instead of just saying, to be honest with you, my future looked dark, if you can get more like visual or sensory with it, like this is how it felt, like the walls were closing in on me, my stomach sank, or whatever the things they go through. If you can put the viewer in that place, basically to make them feel that thing.
Oh, fuck. So instead of saying to be honest with you, my future looked dark, until I can say, and to be honest with you, I felt like my stomach was twirling, or the
Yeah, yeah,
walls
yeah.
sinking
Exactly. You
deeper.
can make it much more expressive.
Oh,
You can also get into that. I would stay up at nights trying to figure this out. I would like dream what my future would be like, all that stuff. Like if you can just basically you want to transport the reader to that place.
and the reason you do that is to basically kind of amplify the problem.
Yeah, and also it gets them more invested. It makes them visualize a bit more. Just instead of saying that my future looked dark, if you just help them feel that emotion of what he was going through, if you get that despair, if you get them to feel that desperation, that despair, it basically it makes them the main character of this movie, that even they can do this. So that's the feeling you want to give them.
So you want to give like the reader kind of like a main character feeling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to put them in the place of the narrator, basically, as if it's
Mm,
their own story.
gotcha. Damn, that's such a small change, but makes such a big difference.
So
Wow.
whenever you're describing this down points or this up points, you want to like make them visualize it, like give them a paint a picture for them, describe the emotions. If you can make them feel it, like instead of just saying I was shocked, you can just use a phrase like the whatever the phrase they use, like the ground beneath my feet slipped or whatever the thing they use, think like that. My stomach dropped or whatever, something that they can feel.
Fuck,
You can
man.
make it relatable.
Make it more relatable. Yeah, make it more like visual, basically.
Yeah,
Everything like that.
stuff that they have gone through, scenarios that they have gone through. Like if you say something like it, instead of just saying that I felt nervous, if you can just say like I felt like the principal had called me to his office. Like that's something everyone knows how it feels. So that's something most people would relate to.
Ah, yeah. I see what you mean. To be honest with you, I felt like the walls were closing in on me. My stomach was turling. I felt like I was, doing this. It's just so much yapping. It's so cool.
Yeah, there's like you don't want to do it for every part, but for this
For these,
down parts or the up parts that are like you want to drive the point home, for them you want to do it.
gotcha,
Because every other point except that, those are just like transitions, fillers to get to this big highs and lows. Because in every movie and stuff, if you see like from the in the opening scene something big happens, and then at the ending scene something big happens. Every event in between, they are just basically to lead to the from point A to point B.
awesome.
One night it happened. This is where you can tie it back to the previous scene that we're telling, that the scene kept replaying on my head. You can tie it back here. Like then one night it happened. That same scene from my childhood. It came back to haunt me, something like that. So that way you're tying it back to the thing we talked about first. I just got sick of all this and all this, that I didn't want to let my mom down again, something like that. If you can tie it back to the original why, that would be much more impactful.
Gotcha. Oh man, these are so small, but they make such a huge difference.
If you can show them how he stumbled upon this concept, like was it through a video or was it by reading a book or was it through some friend that told him, like how did he find this concept of like psychological persuasion? If you can have like a brief story around it, like, or it just how did he come to this conclusion, that would be better.
Gotcha.
Even this section you can amplify it a bit more, like once he hit that first 10K month, what he felt like, you can get more descriptive with it, like paint a picture for them again here. Like what was going through his head, like he had finally, is it like he had finally made it? It is like the feeling of like having never having to worry about rent again, were those the thoughts that going through his head? You can talk about that.
Gotcha. The same thing, just kind of be more vivid.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. That's why I started disqualifying.
Mm. I think we can, instead of this section, we can directly get into like after the happy section that, oh, I had finally made 10K, I was feeling all these good emotions. Then you can directly hit them with this, and then one day something weird happened. So we're going from this big high. So what it feels like currently is they're going through this big high, and then there's some small minor inconvenience, and then we get into this big thing that something bad happened. Instead, if we just go from this big high directly into this big low, that one day all his accounts got taken down and he lost his income stream overnight, that would be like more impactful, because we're already talking about this thing. Let's say, yeah, that the thing of like low profit margins and working 12-hour days, we're already mentioning it later in the.
Ah, yeah. Fuck. That's true.
Yeah, you can just get more descriptive with this happy part that I finally made 10K. I was like, these are the things that were going through my head. My mom was finally proud of me, all that. And then one day something weird happened. Then you can get into this.
Gotcha, gotcha. That's good. Solid, solid. Is this too long? These 3 lessons.
Now, this is like we're disqualifying the this alternative, so you can keep it.
Yeah.
I think we can cut this section out, like because we're not directly revealing this different route. If we just get into it, we cut into it. Just like if we get into this thing, like after his store got shut down, he was into this deep depression. He was at this low point he was going through, and then one day he found a breakthrough. If we get into that, and then we reveal what it was, because when we say that, oh, then I decided to take a different route, then again there brain goes like, okay, he's going to show me some other business model and probably going to sell me on this. But instead, if you directly hit them with the story that, oh, one day I was just scrolling through this and then I found this one thing and it changed my life, then they're like, they don't have the time to come up with that objection.
Oh, so kind of subconsciously tells them they're gonna sell me on something if we say
Yeah.
different route.
He's going to suggest like they're going to think, oh, instead of SMM and dropshipping, he's going to sell me on some other business model. But if you just keep it in flow with the story, that after having my store shut down, I was into this deep depression. I had gained some weight because I let go of my health. If you can describe it, and then like on one random afternoon, having a pity party for myself, I was scrolling on my phone, and that's when something caught my eye. There was this one guy who was making this much from YouTube, and he wasn't an expert or he wasn't something like that. And that's when I found this new thing, social media content creation. This part, this you can add in before you reveal this thing of like posting content on social media.
Wait, hold on. Which part inserted in the thing was?
So ordinary people, this thing you can add in before you reveal this way of like posting content on social media.
Oh, gotcha. Let me just change it. Mm.
This will be, I think, that was maybe we can not reveal this way of like posting content on social media. You don't need to delete the whole thing. You can just reveal, just remove this, take this. This one is like repeated, like they were ordinary people like me were already saying it here. So we can just like shorten it. And the thing was, yeah, we can just get into this.
Yeah, just. Mhm. Oh, okay. So, why wouldn't you, I guess, say posting on social media? They're gonna think we're selling them on something again.
Yeah, like before giving them the payoff, if you can make them think that this is like more simple, this is easy. If you can give them the proof first and then the reveal, then it's like then they're like already sold on it. But if you give them the reveal first and then you start giving proof, then their mental barrier is going, okay, of course he's going to give me proof now. Of course he's trying to sell me on this thing.
Ah, fuck. So you just basically kind of pre-sell them before you reveal the
Yeah,
payoff.
exactly. You pre-sell them.
Yeah. So this all kind of goes back to like just providing proof, like not revealing the payoff, because if you do too early, they'll think, oh, you're just selling me. You're just selling me.
Yeah,
They're
because everything you say after the payoff, they are saying
yeah.
it from this mental filter of that, like, okay, he's just saying this to sell me on thing. Every proof he's presenting is just to sell me. But if you give them the proof first, then they've already accepted this thing that okay, this thing works, whatever this thing is going to tell me.
Yeah, because it's like the vegan example you said that one
Yeah,
time.
yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Like maybe we don't need to reveal this part. Like I was making this much per month, but you don't need to add this part like through sponsorship, affiliate products, all that, because I don't think they care about all that at this point. Just I was making this much per month, and instead, what you can do is like tie it back to the three downsides of dropshipping and stuff that we talked about. That I was making this much without having to work this many hours, or without low profit margins, and the competition was low because it was my own thing and it was my own business, so I wasn't building on rented land. So you can tie it back to that.
Hmm. Gotcha. That's qualifying. Just kind of back to that.
Or maybe we can hold on to the concept of like the rented land, because even now he was like making most of his money on the rented land, like through sponsorships and affiliates that were not his own thing. Because basically, we're selling them on this concept of digital products and coaching, which is their own thing that's not rented. So we can hold on that payoff at like you can just talk about like I was making this much per month, just working this many hours, and what was the other payoff? Like the competition wasn't high because it was my own thing. That can be the two things we can address here, and then we can hold on that last payoff that like, but still there was one problem. I was still building on rented land, and I discovered this firsthand when my income started being inconsistent. Some month I was making this much, then this much, and that was because I was still relying on like the other platforms like sponsorships and affiliates and AdSense, and those could change anytime. Then that's what led to this final stage, like building on his own thing instead of rented land.
Holy shit. You have a good point.
So you're just tying everything back at this point. So instead of everything feeling scattered, everything feels tied now.
Yeah. So just earlier, I just take off the rented land and then I can introduce it here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can insert the concept of like rented land somewhere in this section. Like once you reveal this light bulb moment, then like when you say like they were promoting their own digital products, and this showed me like the one thing that was holding me back. Like throughout all this time, I was still building on like rented land, and but with digital products it's your own thing. So that's how you can tie it back here.
Hmm. But put some school examples because they're the easiest to show the numbers.
That's good. That's good. Like it's also like giving them the feeling of easy that they can do it too.
Yeah.
I think we can have like a instead of directly going into this mentorship, and you can have just like a short section here, like just before revealing this thing, you can have a section here where you're talking about like um, basically like now that you know this, even you can start doing this, but there's this one problem. You'll have to figure all this XYZ on your own. You have to figure out how to create a product, how to get build an audience, how to get attention, how to post content, all that stuff. Like basically the problem section before going into your process.
So recap. Now that you know this, there's still one problem. You don't know how to like basically gather an audience, monetize it, and do this and that. That's why the last few months I put my hours, time, and my knowledge while applying to introduce you to the
Yeah.
mentorship.
Then you can introduce your process, your thing.
Ah, yeah. And you do that just to because you want to with like selling something, you just always want to bring up the problem. Keep bringing up the
Yeah, like
problem.
what's the reason behind this? Or to give them the reason why they should care about, instead of just saying that you have built this thing, that you want to give them the reason behind it. What's in it for them, basically.
Yeah, what's in it for them? That's basically what you do when you give it the problem. When you bring it up again,
Yeah,
you're signaling what's in it for you.
yeah, yeah. So now they have stakes. Now they have a reason to care about this next section where you're going to tell them all this stuff. Because if you don't give that sentence, they will just think, "Oh, this guy's just trying to sell me on this mentorship program. But why should I give a shit about it? Why can't I just do it on my own?" That's why we have this line. Tell them like, why you shouldn't try to do it on your own.
Man, yes, that's really true.
You can amplify it a bit more, like you'll have to spend this many months on your own, and even after that there's like no guarantee. And I know this from first hand experience through my failures in dropshipping and all that stuff. Like if I had someone to show me the way, I would have got there much faster. That's why I've created this.
So you basically want to do that whenever you're about to head on to a solution. You always want to do that little section.
Before you're giving introducing a claim or a solution or selling them on something, you want to basically pre-sell them.
So my question is, how would you know when to do the proof or the problem pre-selling? Do you know what I mean? Or is it just it depends on the context?
Mostly it will depend on the context. Like if it's a claim, you need proof. But if it's like something like a mentorship or something, a program, a coaching or something, a course, for that you'll have to pre-sell them before that.
Gotcha. So the problem stakes.
Yeah.
So if you're selling something, use the problem. But if you're just making a claim, you need proof. Yeah.
Instead of 1 to 3, you can just have 3. You want to make it as specific as possible for them. You don't want to make them uncertain. Like you don't want to give them that objection in their mind, like, oh, am I going to get 1 coach or am I going to get 3 coaches? You want to make it as specific. Just make them feel that they're already inside the program. Future pace them.
Gotcha.
You can also, like, another approach you can take for future pacing is just give them the roadmap of what it's going to feel like. Like in the first month, we're going to get clear on all this, like your brand identity, your niche, and what's your vision. And then in the second month, we're going to start posting content and all that. And by the third month, you'll have this many subscribers. In the 6th month, you had made your this much. You will be making this much consistently. So this way, like future paces them basically.
So I would add that basically here, or where would I add that
Or
in? Uh-huh.
I think it would be better if you add this in the book call VSL.
Oh, the future pacing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, instead of doing it here in the YouTube one.
Yeah,
Okay.
just add it in the booker call VSL after the, like before the close, after the process.
Yeah, so when you want to do the future pacing when you're introducing your pretty much your what the thing is, like your force of nature, like the the solution.
Future pace it after you have introduced, after you have gone through your process, then future pace it before introducing the problem. Like by future pacing, what you are doing basically is you're giving them a teaser, you're giving them a like a look into the future. Like this is what your future can look like. You want to make them visualize that in the next 6 months, this is what your life is going to look like. But there's a problem, and that is this. So it's like you're cog blocking them. You're giving them a thing that they can have this, and then they're taking it away from them. So before revealing the problem, future pace it for them.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're always trying to like basically block them from getting
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
There's always like a roadblock.
Yeah, that conflict and resolution.
Ah, yeah.
Instead of apply, you can worry to something like click the first link in the description and I'll see you on a call or something like that. Like just future pace them what will happen after apply. Like telling them to apply is not like something that's like interesting to them. Like why should I need to apply? It's like applying for a college. It should like click the first link in the description and I'll see you soon. Yeah, that can be a thing.
Hell yeah. Anyways, fast forward to now, blah 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 blah.
I don't think like we need this section. Once we have given them this, once we have given them the pitch, I think we can just
They're already sold. Yeah, it's the awareness concept. They're already sold, so you don't need to, convince them more.
yeah, you can just end it here. Like click the first link in the description and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, awesome.
What else do we have today?
I have I wrote another script. It was the tutorial AI affiliate marketing script. So what I did for that one is I took the Pinterest one,
Mhm.
and then I took parts of it and I just mix it into this one because the Pinterest one was just kind of like it was kind of like a trial one. I was just writing just to kind of like provide value.
Is it like for the same prospect or is it like someone else?
Yeah, it's for the same prospect.
Mm.
Yeah, and those writing those scripts led me to getting like here, just basically getting the full time position for script writing. I guess it worked
Is
out.
this audience like already sold on this concept of affiliate marketing? Are they like pretty familiar with it?
Yeah, yeah, they are. They're pretty aware of it. That's why I
What-
made.
What's going, what's going to be the title? If is it going to be something like the new way to do affiliate marketing with AI
Yeah,
or something?
it's gonna be
Mm,
like the how I made think like X. I forgot how much the number is, but how I made this much amount of money with this new form of affiliate marketing or new beginner way of affiliate marketing. I think that was the title of it.
mm. Or you can like save that for the thumbnail. You can just show it in the thumbnail. Like I made this much, or show a Stripe dashboard, and the title can be something like the new way of affiliate marketing in 2025, because that's a proven format that works. You
Oh
can
yeah.
show the number thumbnail, the dashboard, or like you can just have a text like the DOSC one. Like let me show you the example of this.
Oh, I've seen this channel.
Yeah, so you can just take a similar format and just like in this text one, that like the red and white text, you can just have something like I made XYZ, and you can have the amount in the red highlight. That can be the packaging.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Classic.
It's like a proven format. Did you see this recent video from Mozi? Did you see this one?
No, is it good?
No, not because of the. I want to show you the hook for this. Like it follows the exact hook format to the T. Like let's see if you can find it.
Here are brutally honest truths that will give you an unfair advantage. I'm Alex Mosey, I'm the founder of acquisition.com.
Yeah, so he gave you the validating the click, then he's giving you the input bias why it should be.
It's a portfolio of companies that generate hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue per year in aggregate. And a lot of my success in business has come from finding and exploiting unfair advantages. So hopefully this video.
And he's setting you the stakes. So those are the three things they did. The textbook classic hook.
Dude, oh,
Once you
damn,
see it, you will see it.
the fucking steaks. That's a
Mhm.
that's a new one. Bro fucking took the most stock standard hook. That was most basic hook.
The basic
So there you have it. Now you know how to use some advanced copywriting and storytelling principles to write better YouTube scripts than most people. More script writing source in the free newsletter and other free and paid stuff in the pinned comment.